Hey guys, it's Ava and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a book review on, five different books that I've read recently. I was trying to read one more, but I didn't finish it before I decided that I needed to film this. It's actually this one. It's called The Secret Book of Flora Lee, but excuse me, but I haven't finished reading it yet, so if you guys like these, I'll do another book review and this will be in it. But anyway, I've got 5 books for you. I have one of the books with me, and the other ones I have at my house, and then one of them I read on my Kindle, but I don't have the other ones in paperback, so I'm just going to be putting in pictures right here. There should be no spoilers because I'm trying to encourage you guys to read these books while also reviewing them. So let's get into it. Okay, so my first book is called Hello Beautiful. It's this one right here. The author is Anne Napolitano. I believe that's how you say your name. If I am saying it wrong, please correct me in the comments down below. But this is one of the books I got for Christmas. It was so good. Very beautiful cover too. And the side is also the same colors, so it's really cute on your bookshelf. I rated this book 4 stars, and here's why. It's really interesting setup. It is more of an overview point of view. I'm not sure what that's kind of called, but basically one chapter is a series of months or even years, and each chapter it changes which character they focus on. So it's a really interesting setup and just interesting POVs as you see different people, what they're doing at the same time. So it'll be like, oh, for example, like this one focuses on Sylvie, and it's from February 1983 to August 1983. It says right here. And this chapter is just focused on those timelines and months and the important events. So this book as a whole covers basically most of their life from early college years to later in life, 60s, 70s. Very interesting, very different from typical reads. One of the reasons I found it interesting is it says on the back that it's an exquisite homage to Louisa May Alcott's timeless classic Little Women, which, if you don't know, is one of my favorite books. Probably actually my most favorite book in the whole world. So I really liked that relation. They talk about Little Women like a tiny little bit in the book, but it's a underlying theme throughout the whole thing. I had to take a call from my mom, guys. But anyway, I was saying, Hello Beautiful, its relation to Little Women. It's really good. It is a sort of underlying theme. There are 4 sisters in the book, which I think is another reason that it's mentioned a little bit. I did like the homage that the book paid to it. So, highly recommended. 4 stars. Really sweet. Follows 4 sisters and this one guy that one of the sisters really likes in the beginning. Yeah, very, very sweet, very real, very down to earth. So highly recommend. So our next book is called Girls of Flight City by Lorraine Heath. Very good book. I gave this one a 5 stars, and it's the only one I gave 5 stars in this review because it was so interesting. It followed these 2 girls and how they live in this little town that they turned the airport into a military training base for fighter jets during World War II. Very sweet book. Very interesting. I just was captured by the story and the writing. I probably finished the book. I think I finished this book in one day because I just couldn't put it down. I feel like that's all I have to say. It follows a very strong female character, Jessie. She's the older sister, and she is a flight instructor, and it basically follows her hardships as she tries to navigate working on the airfield. Then her younger sister, Kitty Lovelace, she also does her part, and her story is very sweet and very sad, but I really liked how the difference between the two and just how this town sort of accepted these foreigners to train there. The town was very prejudiced against British pilots coming to train, and it's just a heartfelt story about how they grew to love them and want them to be there. Anyway, I highly recommend reading this book. 5 stars. It's all I gotta say. You should totally check it out. It's probably one of the best books I've ever read. The next book that I'm going to talk about is called Wayward. It was interesting, to say the least. I gave this a 3.5 stars just because I didn't like it as much, but I do think that the storyline was important, and I do think it talked about an important topic in a very different and unique way. This book basically follows 3 characters in 3 different time periods who are magically connected, and they must face oppression of men, and it's these 3 strong women characters, and they're facing this oppression. It was a very good theme throughout the book. I don't really know what else to say without spoiling it. Personally, I found it sort of heartbreaking to read as you start to understand why all of this is happening. Yes, the events are true, and yes, this does happen in real life, but they kind of folded it into this magical way of the magic is within these strong, powerful women, and when they harness it, they are then better off. And so I do like that it is a strong female character book. I do recommend reading it because it's totally different, and you might enjoy it much more than I enjoyed it. But highly recommend. That was Wayward by Amelia Hart. So go check it out. The next book I want to talk about is called A Curious Beginning by Deanna Rainborn. It's a Veronica Speedwell mystery, which means this is the first one in the series, and I haven't finished the series, but just based off the first book, I can tell it's going to be pretty good. I gave this book 4 stars, and I just looked it up on Goodreads to find out what the author's name was, and it's 3.96 stars on Goodreads, so everyone is sort of saying the same thing about the book. This one is just fun to follow. It's another female lead, but they're on this mystery hunt, and in the beginning, she's just doing it because she can, and she's trying to get away. But as it goes on, it becomes very interesting as they're trying to find out who's after them and what's going to happen next and how this clue connects to this clue. It's a mystery wrapped up with a murder mystery, wrapped up with who's following me, what is my secret. Very, very interesting. I highly recommend. It takes place in London, 1880s, and Veronica Speedwell, the main character, is very different, very unique from the typical women of that time, which I think also makes it interesting. She is a scientist in a way. She collects different species of butterflies and studies them. So it's pretty interesting to follow her through that. But I do recommend checking it out. If you have ever read the Mary Russell series by Laurie King, it's similar. I love the Mary Russell series. It's probably my second favorite book series in after Little Women. So this is not as good as it, but it is still really interesting. So you should go check this book out. And the last book is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. I gave it 4 stars. It is a sequel to Better Than the Movies. So if you haven't read Better Than the Movies, Go check that one out first. Better Than the Movies was very good. It was super sweet, but nothing like the movies, which follows the same couple. Totally flipped the script. It became a second chance romance, which was very sweet, very cute. I liked how the author included songs throughout the whole book, or she has done throughout both of them. It wasn't what I was expecting the story to turn into after reading the first one, but it was still really, really good. It was just a nice break from the books I had been reading because I'd been reading these sort of heavier, nuanced books, but this one was just sweet to read. I absolutely loved it. And if you're just looking for a sweet romance, I highly recommend reading this book, but make sure you read Better Than the Movies and then Nothing Like the Movies. Both of those super cute, super good. Read them. That's all I have to say. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. These 5 books, I'm gonna write them right here so you can look at them again. Take a screenshot if you'd like. If you want me to rank my top 10 books, I will. Just comment that down below. I'll rank and I'll review them with spoilers or without spoilers. You guys let me know. And of course, if you guys want to see more of me, check out my Instagram links down below or right here. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.